Hello, this is John from the Holiday Informer,
And I'm Glenn from Fall Ritual.
and this is episode 20 of Fall Informer. And today we have a returning guest, Frankie from Brighton Asylum.
Hey guys, I'm back. It's only been 7 months, but I'm back.
Yes, and let's talk about the Valentines event that's happening at Brighton Asylum and the interesting news Frankie has to share with everybody.
Yes. So in February this month, 11th and the 12th, it's back-to-back shows. We have our Dark Valentine, and this is what you're gonna see there probably, most likely. I mean, maybe it'll be a little different, like I might not have the headpiece on, but that's what the theme that I'm going for this season, guys. I'm a little evil, but
Nice.
Yeah.
Has your character gotten any darker since the last time we spoke to you? Has it morphed into like a darker?
I definitely feel like it has, especially because I talked to you guys before the 2021 Halloween season, and that's when I said like, oh, I'm thinking of going a little darker. And I mean, Mr. Hall Informer kind of saw, like, you know, in line, like I was telling people I was going to carve them like pumpkins, and I was being very like visceral. Usually, like, I don't threaten people per se, like right off the bat, but now I'm trying to like, I want extreme emotional reactions. I don't care if you're like pissed off at me or if you hate my guts. Like I want you to either love me or hate me. I don't want people to like look at me and just be like, no, there he is. So that's like my goal for this year. Like I want really visceral reactions, and I'm gonna go to certain extremes, I guess. We'll see what happens when I'm like in character.
Yeah. And in case you didn't know, Glenn, I didn't post about this, but Frankie would act like he's like licking the wall of this wall of pumpkin guts. He would act like he was licking it. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, and I definitely licked it a few times by accident because like I misjudged, and I actually licked it definitely like 3 or 4 times during the season.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. I'm alive.
Yeah.
Any special makeup for the Valentine's Day one? Are you doing like the conversation heart type things?
I really vibed with the conversation hearts. I don't know though, because if I want to like, I approach it from like a storytelling standpoint. So from where I was from the Christmas like one, you know, I had like lights on me, but I was like frostbitten because I was living under the trucks outside. So maybe I found some of those heart candies under the truck, or maybe I'll do something completely different. I haven't decided yet, which is awesome because they give me like the freedom to decide for myself. So
Nice. It is amazing they let you have free range. So
yeah.
cool.
I am definitely lucky for that in that aspect. So
definitely.
I want to get back to the beginning here because I don't think we asked you in the first time we interview. When did you actually start at Brighton, and what brought you to Brighton?
So I started Brighton in like 2015, either 2015 or 2016. I was just transitioning, like I would do these outside haunts by my house, and they were canceled like for 3 years in a row because of just like poor weather. So like for 3 years I was like super into it like I am now, but like nowhere near like, you know, the as professional. But it was like so depressing for me. Like one year I'm like, okay, next year I'll be able to do this. We set up, we built everything because it was all like a bunch of students, like we would build the sets ourselves.
Okay.
Second year canceled. So I was like, what the heck? And my dad was like, hey Frankie, there's this place like I think it was like 20 minutes from our house at the time. He was like, let's go see what it's up, like what's up there and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so he took me to Brighton. It was like it was open auditions, but it wasn't for the regular season. It was for an off season. So I think it was like for Valentine's Day, it might have been. So I went down there, and I think, so this is like my anniversary show. I want to say I started in February. But yeah, so my dad took me there. He was like, I think you're going to like this. This seems more professional. It's indoor. You don't have to worry about the weather, just like messing everything up. And that was like the main selling point in my head. Like I've never seen an indoor haunted attraction before. Like that was kind of like so new to me. I didn't even know it was possible to have like a facility to keep building up. So yeah, like 2015, and I've been there ever since.
Nice. Okay. So this is something I definitely want to ask you about, and I've seen that you don't wear silicone masks, and I wanted to ask you about that. So what was your experience with wearing a silicone mask? Because I'm pretty sure you said you wore the Pennywise one.
Yeah, so before the Pennywise, my previous character before we created Frankie was actually a red-haired clown, like one of those like pointy chin clowns.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because like I always like, it's part of my character. Like I always talk crap about clowns. I'm always like, oh, you're just a clown or whatever. But like I actually started as a clown. And I was the clown for 2 years, and that latex, well, silicone mask, it ripped on my mouth, and
Oh,
they were like, oh, we'll get it repaired for you. And it just didn't happen. Like, I don't know what was the deal, but that kind of pushed me away from the masks. And then I started doing like, prosthetics, and I was like, I don't have to worry about like ripping anything, or I only have to worry about sweating it off now. But for the Pennywise, that whole Pennywise costume was heavier than it looks. Like the mask itself had to be at least 10 pounds, like close to 10 pounds. So the dome was very top heavy. So I remember doing like the stills and like the little video that they took of me just for like trying it on. And I remember like standing there and tilting over to the side and had to fix the head because it was so like, yeah, it was so like bulbous. So I give credit to a lot of mask actors because it like when it's the warmer weather, I don't understand how they do it. I mean, it's one thing to have like the pool of sweat build up under your mask, but it's another thing to like power through that and to give a performance. So I give them a lot of credit.
yes, definitely. And I've asked my friends that wear silicone masks, and they say the way they do it is when people aren't there, they'll unbutton their like top button and they'll pull it up, and they have like a fan. Let the
Yeah,
fan
man.
blow up, and then they're like, okay, and just like quickly drink water and then pull it back.
That's a struggle. That is a struggle, and that definitely is a war with yourself. Like you're definitely battling with your own like mind that whole night. Just like, oh God, just like 15 more minutes and then I'll pull it off, or I could do another group before I need that water. So
Yeah. Yeah,
man.
I did a press for Field of Screams years ago wearing my Carl the Clown mask, and that was brutal because we were in each like news station for a while. So you were just, it was just awful. And everybody took their mask off immediately when they went back to the car. And it was just awful. We all were drinking water. It's insane. And what's funny is you black out your eyes. So then it looks like you've been crying your eyes out watching a rom-com.
Yeah, you're like the
Like
prom
the
queen.
mascara. It's
Yeah.
it looks really funny. So
God.
all right.
I have a question for you actually. When you were wearing the mask, did
Yeah.
you feel like you were in character the whole time? Like, was it easier for you?
Was it easier for me? Yes. And years ago, I was much more shy than I am now. I would be a much better scare actor now because I wouldn't be afraid to make goofy noises and be funny and just like tell people I'm gonna wrap them in intestines and then cover them in candy. I wouldn't be afraid to tell them that now. I was in the past. I was the shy one. Everyone else is very vocal and I was the shy
And
one.
and look at you now, man. Like doing these videos, putting yourself out there. That's so awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd be a lot better at it now, and I would have a lot more fun too. So I would power through the sweat.
All right. I'll keep my eye
But
out,
John,
man.
but John, could you do just prosthetics and not the silicone mask like Frankie does? I mean, Frankie's out there, like he's not hiding behind the mask. Could
Yes.
you do that?
Yes, I would. Actually, I was thinking that if I were to act again, I definitely would just do makeup because it's so much easier on you.
Yeah,
Because you can,
for sure.
and I definitely like when I can smile. Like I can have like a sinister grin, like sinister grin. Like if you're a clown, you can like see it, and you can't really express that with a mask. Maybe with like a silicone mask that's like really tight, like a CFX mask or Immortal. But with like a looser fit mask, you couldn't. If it's
Yeah,
like
you won't be able to get those intimate, like, like wrinkles or like that little
Yeah.
smirk or stuff
No,
like that.
if you just have subtle clown makeup on, then you can really emote through it, and I think that would freak people out more. So
For sure.
yeah.
Me and John both being haunt reviewers. Do you go and check like different reviews and see what people are saying? Do you, Frankie, yourself, do you like watch reviews of the haunts that are posted and What's the like the worst review you ever seen, and what's like the best?
No. Oh no.
Yeah, so like my guilty pleasure, right after the show, like when I take a shower at night and I'm like trying to unwind, I will immediately go to YouTube. I will immediately go to Instagram, look at all the tagged photos, read all the reviews. So that's something that I actually really do a lot of. I feel like it helps and hurts because it hurts you because if you're doing your own thing and then someone says like, I don't like what he's doing, and that's like coming from like, you know, your soul, it's like, oof, like he doesn't like me, like, but that's like what I'm doing. But otherwise, like you also get to hear like all the little other things like, oh, like I didn't see, like I've never seen him do that before, or I've never seen someone approach a group like that. And you know, so it's definitely the double-edged sword with the reviews. I know a lot of like celebrities, you know, like actors from like Walking Dead and stuff, they say that they avoid reviews, they avoid seeing what like the fans say about them because it gets in their head. So I could understand that. But so the worst review, oh man, probably the worst review that I read was from 2 years ago. It was during the Halloween season. Someone wrote this full paragraph like, I was not afraid, I was not scared of anything, and then they ended it with, they didn't have any clowns. And it rubbed me such a wrong way because I felt like it was almost like they were just looking for clowns the whole time. Like they didn't care what was in the attraction. Like they don't care about the animatronics or like the other characters. They were just looking for like that one clown. And they were like, you don't have a clown? I'm not afraid. So that was probably like the stupidest one that I've read.
It's like, did you not know what the name of the attraction is?
Yeah, right.
It's the Brighton Circus. Like, come on.
Did you not see they have special events called, let me think, Clown Asylum? Like, why didn't you come during then? Like,
exactly. And there was also other reviews when they were like, oh, do you guys have any spiders or clowns again? And they were like, we're not going to come if you do. So yeah, so it's all this stuff like you don't know, like the public, you're supposed to make the public afraid, but then they won't come. So then like the business loses money because you're too scary. So it's like, I don't understand how this works. But the owner of Brighton, Rich, he's always like kind of sharing like those funny reviews or those funny questions, and he'll like post it on the staff page and he'll say like, get a load of these people, and they'll be like, I didn't see any real leprechauns at your St. Patty's Day. And there was at least like 2 leprechauns, but maybe they weren't real leprechauns. Like I don't know what they were expecting.
were they expecting like the actual little person of the leprechaun from the movies?
I think so. They were expecting that actor.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
But yeah, all in all, I love reading feedback and I love like seeing the reviews. It's something that I enjoy.
Oh my God. All right. So this kind of goes with your character and how it's evolved over time. And you actually were texting me about this and you were excited about it. And I want to ask you, do you prefer wearing a straitjacket or your striped outfit like I saw you on Halloween?
So I really like this. Okay. I like them in both ways. The straitjacket is very iconic. When people see like the straitjacket, they don't even have to per se like look at me. They could just like see the costume and they're like, oh, that's the crazy patient guy or whatever. That's Frankie. When I wear like the striped sweatshirt, one, it's very breathable. I could wear it when it's really hot. I could wear it in like halfway to Halloween, and like when I'm indoors, it's less harsh on me. But people call me like Kurt Cobain. People like try to make fun of me more when I'm wearing the striped sweatshirt. I guess it's more of like less of like an asylum costume and more of like a street costume. Maybe that's why people approach me different. Because when people approach me when I'm wearing the straitjacket, I can tell that they're very they keep their distance more. I mean, I do have like that rope that I like threaten people with. So maybe it's because I'm holding the rope and I'm like spinning it around. But I definitely feel like the people vibe off me differently depending on what I'm wearing. So I'm getting a new straitjacket for this year. That's on the list. So be on the lookout for that one. And I love the straitjacket. I do. But for casual, casual Sundays, I'll wear the striped sweater.
Nice. It just makes me think like you were going with a storyline, like some days maybe they would let you wear casual if you were like a good patient, like they'd let you dress the way you wanted?
I do say that. That is part of like when people ask me like, "Where's your straitjacket?" I'm like, "Oh, this is like the bag that was in my locker. They let me out. They let me put my clothes on that they caught me with or whatever. You know, like I'll like slice in like that." I like it's so hard to pick, man. Like, because now I'm thinking like I love the striped sweater. I actually have it over here, but wait. Aha,
There it is.
the striped sweater with my blood on it. Oh yeah, this way.
There you go.
And no one
Yep.
really notices I have like a crying face on there.
Oh yeah,
Because
I see that. Yeah.
that's just how my inner soul feels when I'm Frankie, you know? Like I'm very angry at people and I'm confused, but inside, like I'm a sad boy.
So something I really enjoy seeing is when scare actors go above and beyond. Already you guys are being incredibly grown to your bodies and wearing these costumes and everything. And then you add stuff to your teeth. So what do you do to achieve that grimy look to your teeth like you haven't brushed your teeth for months?
That's a great question. You're the first person to ever ask me about that. And I've been doing it for like 5 years. The first year I didn't do it. And then when I started like progressing and with my character, so it's called tooth jade, and it's like a special, like almost like a nail polish.
Okay.
So there's a nicotine color and a black color. I'll paint my base of my teeth with the nicotine, and then I'll touch it up with the black on my gums or on like the roots of my teeth. So that gives it like the decayed, like layered look. So basically, like you have to dry your mouth out. I use like the blow dryer when I'm at Brighton. So everyone always like stares at me. They're like, "Oh, there's Frankie again." I'll be like standing in front of like the mirror with like the blow dryer, like and it takes like like 15 minutes, and I have to dry my whole mouth out, paint it, dry it again, paint over that, and then dry it. And then I can't drink or eat anything for like most of the show because like it'll like scrape off. So I
How
bring a
do you
straw
stay
with me.
hydrated?
Yeah, the straw technique.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
ship it off.
And then everyone's always like, "Hey, Frankie, have like M&Ms, have this, have a Twizzler, like before the show." And I'm like, "Guys, I can't eat anything. Don't you see my teeth?" Like, and they're like, "Oh, okay."
Now, how do you get that
Yeah,
off?
but so for that, you could use like a paper towel, but I just use my toothbrush with no toothpaste, like just the abrasiveness. You just
Oh.
like scrape it right off, and it just like it's like a just like a peeling, like a layer of it comes right off your teeth. But like the teeth stuff and the contact, I feels like it really ties together the character. Like if I didn't have my contacts in or my teeth stuff, I'd feel like very naked and very like I just feel like this now, just like, "Hey guys, like whatever, what's up?"
Oh man. Well, I actually have a question about contacts, so I might as well ask you about that now since you just brought it up. Um, so if you had to choose between the different kinds of contact lenses you've experimented with, which one did you feel like was the best for your character?
So I went from like yellow lenses to red lenses to the white and red, and also just the plain white ones. And I was wearing them in both of my eyes, but then 2 years ago I decided I'm just gonna have one contact in, and I'm gonna keep it on the same side as like my boils or like the scarring. So
Okay.
and that's what kind of stuck. So I use one contact now, and I really like it's like it's not the white with the black pupil. It's kind of just like white with like these white lines. So it's like double white.
Hmm.
And from far away, when people take pictures and like it flashes, it almost looks like a sclera lens. So
Oh,
I really like these new ones that I have, and they're also like prescription. Brighton got them for me, so I could
nice.
see, and I don't have to like walk up to a child and like start talking crap to a child, and then I'll be like, "Oh my god, this is a kid. This isn't a short person." Like I need to be able to see who I'm talking to. Like, um, yeah. So the white one, the prescription white one that I'm wearing right now, is my favorite.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought I saw this on your Facebook and Instagram this past season. You did get hit, didn't you? Did you get like attacked, like a reaction type assault on you? How
Yeah.
do you react to that?
So it wasn't like they weren't it was reactionary. Like I knew it was reactionary, so I didn't get that feeling like, oh my God, I'm being attacked. Like what the hell is going on? But partly it was my fault. I was getting a little like excited. So they were outside by the bleeding grounds line. And that's like the queue that goes outside and they're waiting to go up the stairs.
Yeah.
So the girl was like texting on her phone and she was looking down. And I came from behind her. And instead of just like approaching her, I like kept distance and then I jumped and I like made my feet like, slap on the ground to make like that like startle scare.
Yeah.
And she didn't even look at me, man. She just raised her elbow, like she was texting. She just raised her elbow and just hammered me across my eye. And like, I didn't even have time to like block it because like the second I landed, it just went boom. And it knocked my contact out. The only one that I was wearing, it flew out of my eye and I was still in character. So like, I didn't yell at her. I wasn't like, why did you hit me? I was like, oh, look at the arm on that one or whatever, and I'm like holding my eye and security's like, do you need help? Like, do you want us to escort her out? Do you want us to like talk to her? And I was like, no, it's fine. Like she's apologizing the whole time. The second she hit me, she was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Like, but I'm mad at myself just for how I approached it. I guess I should have maybe came on an angle more, because they teach you to never like approach head on and never come like from the sides, because the flailing and stuff could hit you at any time.
Okay.
So maybe I should have approached differently, but that was the only time I've ever been hit in like 6 years. And I can't really be too mad about it, but it was startling to me. Like I was like, what the hell is going on? And I lost my contact on the floor.
Oh no. Do you have to just get a new one, or what did you do?
So luckily I have the two, so now I only have one left.
Wow.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Just the last interview we did, a Phil Screams actor told us that he's a chainsaw scare actor in the Den of Darkness, and he said that he wears a faceplate, so if people punch him, it protects his face. And he said people have punched him, and it protected his face. And I was like, oh my gosh, like people are punching you? Like,
right? For him to even have to wear that, that's just like, man, like what?
That's crazy.
But that's genius though, and it must look super scary too.
Oh, it does.
Damn.
It's sweet. Oh man. It's a crazy industry we're in.
I know. I'm gonna have to start wearing a cup and a face mask.
You have to wear the headgear. You just wear the headgear and the protection.
That's true. They'll just punch steel.
Oh man. So I want to ask you, you obviously have said lots of crazy things like carving people like a jack-o'-lantern and things like that. And I definitely want to ask you, what has been the skit line that's confused people the most?
So when I'm outside, I like to, I'll talk about other characters and I'll say like, oh, my mom's inside, like she's hanging in a tree. And like my actual mom, she's like, oh, you could say whatever you want. Like, I know you're not talking about me. So that became part of my character. Like my mother is hanging in this tree. So I also have a character that I call Mama. There's a character that I like call Mama as well, but she's not like my mother character.
Okay.
So I'll be talking to her and I'll be like, oh, Mama, you're so funny. Like, I'll like hold a knife at her and I'll like threaten to like cut her. And then someone will come up to me and they'll be like, you said that your mom was like hanging in a tree. And I'll be like, she is hanging in a tree. They'll be like, well, then who's this? And I'm like, that's Mama. Like, what do you mean who's that? And that's like the thing that always confuses them, because she's not my mother. Her name is just Mama. She's not even like my motherly figure. She's just Mama. But people think that she's my real mom. They think that she's like my maternal figure. She's just a woman with a knife. Like, I just talk to her. Like, we have no relationship or anything. Well, like, that's Mama right there. But my mom is in the tree upstairs. Like, if you see her, don't untie her. Like, they're like, but she's right here.
That's great. So sometimes you have a very deep, intimidating voice with your Frankie character. And how do you learn to do that?
This is great. I wanted to talk about this anyway, even if you didn't ask about this. So I really like rock music, like metal music, but I'm more into like the sub-genres of like deathcore, metalcore, like a lot of diaphragm usage.
Okay.
So even before I started haunt acting, I would always, like I was always into that. I'd always like scream in my car. I'd always, do that voice, like, what are you doing? Like stuff like that. So I chose to incorporate that in my character. And then over the years, like I've actually learned more and more how to control my diaphragm and to do like these different other sounds, like the squeals and like weird gurgly noises and like goblin voices and stuff like that. And I just incorporated that into my character and used that as like multiple personality, like moods, I guess. Like someone will be talking to me and I'll just be like, well, why are you talking to me like that? I'm like, yeah, like I'll just randomly like just if I can do something. But yeah, no, I really pride myself on like my vocal ability, I guess. Like it's became something that people look for. They're like, do the voice, or like do that thing that you did. And even for this, like they said, like make me scream or whatever. So I guess Brighton notices that I also scream a lot. Because it's not saying to make the customer scream, it's saying to make Frankie scream. So I guess, yeah. So it's something that I really like, I vibe with. I see a lot of haunt actors, they don't really use their voice too much. They're either like yelling, like just to yell, like, like, what are you doing? Or like, come play with me, I don't really hear like the, like the gurgly, like, like voice like that. So yeah.
Can you sing in that voice? Can you like have you like, hey, can I sing in this voice and like be in like a metal band?
Oh yeah, that's something that I actually want to do. I want to be like a front man for like a deathcore band or something. Like that's what I'm kind of looking for on the downtime right now.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because if you can sing in that voice, I mean, you
Yeah.
pretty much nail. That's what like that chorus sounds like. I mean,
And literally like all of the Halloween season, like, I mean, I have my voice for most of it. Even if you use your diaphragm and do it properly, like you're going to exhaust your vocal cords and like the flaps and stuff. So I've noticed like last year, I had my voice for like almost the full season and I was talking a lot and yelling a lot at people. So I definitely do think I'm like doing something right.
Cool.
good
Nice.
luck with that. And that'll be awesome. I'd
thank
love
you.
to see like posts on your Instagram, like, oh, this is my new metal band. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start posting more. I might even do some covers just to like give people, like a taste of what I'm into.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Frankie, you got it in. What do you got other than the Valentine's Day thing? You're doing the St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, so for St. Patty's Day, I'll also be there. I haven't started thinking about what I'm gonna do, like for the vibes or like what energy I'm gonna put out yet. Last year I was handing out the golden coins, and then we were like hiding them around Brighton, and people were like finding the coins and bringing them to me, and like I'd give them candy, like kind of like a cash in. I mean, it worked well. People were excited. I just don't know if I want to do the same thing every year.
Okay.
I might go a complete like 180, and I might be very like visceral and very like standoffish. I don't know yet. Yeah.
Okay. It'd be
And
funniest is if they gave you a gold coin and you actually gave them Lucky Charms.
see, these are the ideas that I love to like contemplate with, because like I had a bag of Lucky Charms the other year,
Yeah.
and then one of the other Q Line actors had like a box of Lucky Charms, and he was
Yeah.
like literally like throwing it at people and stuff like that, because it was like still COVID, so like you can't really eat any snacks, so he was just like tossing it at people. But I really like to work around with the other actors. Like if someone else is doing something, I'm gonna try to do something completely different to give like that the whole spectrum, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotcha.
So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do for St. Patty's Day. Sometimes it just comes to me, and then other times I'll have like an actual dream, like I'll be sleeping and I'll be like, oh, that's a perfect idea. Like
Jot that note down.
yeah. Yeah, but I do have one thing, like I kind of know what I'm gonna do for the Halloween season. Like I know what what route I'm gonna take, because it is gonna be different. I actually wrote some stuff down just to see, like I definitely wanted to do more almost like a motivational type of Frankie, like not like a preacher and not like a full-blown motivational speaker, but I do kind of, like I'll give people horrible advice in line. Like that's one of the things I do. Like I'll like walk up to someone and I'll be like, is that your boyfriend or whatever? I'll be like, you got to keep cheating on him or whatever, like, and I kind of want to like, I want to take that and like embellish on that even more. and incorporate that into like my actual character, like for the Halloween season. So yeah, that's kind of like what I'm thinking about right now.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
All right.
Frankie, the
Cool.
mischief maker.
exactly. And then I'll be like, I'll see someone, they'll be wearing like a shirt, like a Halloween shirt or like a Freddy shirt, and I'll start talking to them about that, and then they'll just like veer off and they'll start talking to me about like my personal life in character all the time. So like I feel like if any character can like talk to people about like their personal life and motivation and stuff, like Frankie can probably do it, because people are always opening up to me. Like I don't know why. Like I'm pretty like screwed up, and I'm like not really super nice. Like I'm a little weird, John, right? I'm a little weird. But,
Oh
like,
yeah.
but people just like, they open right up. They start telling me their life story. They tell me all about them. They say, this is my girlfriend. We're getting married. So yeah.
And that's when you say, oh, you could do better than them.
Yeah, I'll be like, no, I'll be like, she was here the other day with another guy. Like, you know that, right? Like, and I'll be like, oh, I saw her last week with that other dude. And then they'll start fighting in line, and I'll be like, oh, music to my ears. Like,
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's funny.
or also like the girls will try to take pictures with me, and their boyfriends will get mad. They'll like walk away. They'll be like, ugh, or whatever. Like, so I'm gonna play off of that more.
Awesome. So look forward to all the different little personalities of Frankie and how he evolves
Yes.
and metamorphosizes throughout the year. So I have been John from the Haunt Informer.
And I'm Glenn from Fall Ritual.
Yes.
And I'm Frankie.
Yes. And this has been episode 20 of Fall Informer. And check back next time. And until next time, happy hauntings.
Bye, guys.